Howdy doodly, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. We have got some fire games for you for sure. We have week number 2 of the Articuno League. Yes, that's right. In this best of 5 set tonight, we have the adorable Wolves versus Bush Check. So, tonight we got some really strong contenders. Over on Adorable Wolves, we do have JC Solar, Winterwolf Hakra, and the wonderful MG0185. On Bush Check, we got Yoga, Ravadas, Potpourri, Demo, and Skeleton Pie. So, we do have some awesome things tonight, but we're going to call out some follows in the last happen. So, Botmaster73, Gogeta Kyojin, and PK Powers 310. Thank you so much for the follows. We super appreciate it. And I hope tonight we got some fire games for you to enjoy because the Articuno League is nothing to be scoffed at. There's a lot of stiff competition in here. And let me show you, and we're going to show you tonight exactly what we mean by that. We got some really good teams coming in here. We're just waiting for the ready checks from the side of Adorable Wolves. And then we are good to go. All our teams are here. We are ready to go and we are fire. But we did have some nice games last week as well. We watched Juice Daddies and Princesses on Sunday. We got some Adorable Wolves with the Sugar Rush action last week as well. We even got a little bit of more with Kodiak and For Fun. So that was really cool. And there are so many more teams. But guys, we have 24 teams within the Articuno League. That is not a low number. That means every week, among our casters of between me, Thoob, and Maul, we are going to have 12 games to be able to cast for you. As long as schedules permit and whatnot, we got lots of opportunities, lots of options to come through, and a lot of teams to be able to showcase. And we're only in week number 2. We still got at least one more week of the round robin phase before we move to the next phases, which will be, I believe, setting us up for the playoff series. So we will say goodbye to some teams, but others we'll finally get to see new matchups coming through. So matchups we never even thought were possible. So we're just going to double check. We might go a little quiet on you a little bit now and then. We are adminning this match tonight because we are alone, but that is okay because I got you, my beautiful viewers. Welcome in. I know we do have some awesomeness from that, guys, and you guys are always the best viewers. You know this. I know this. Even if it's your first time here, you know you're the best viewer. I mean, come on. Inflate that ego a little bit. But we're going to talk to you a little bit about the new Groudon map while we wait for our teams to pop in here. So, with the new Groudon map here, we don't have a whole lot of instant scoring like we did with Zapdos, or unstoppable scoring like we did with Rayquaza. Instead, we still have that buff that grants us increased score speed, but our teams now have to be even more careful because no instant scoring, no unstoppable scoring. That means that anybody attacks them in the midst of the scoring, even with that increased speed, that's going to stop the goal. So if you're protected, so you have to protect yourself. How do you do that? Maybe you go with Goal Getter, Amulet Coin, something like that to help increase that speed a little bit. Maybe you go with Score Shield to try to protect that score a little bit more. Maybe you try to avoid the objective altogether and instead you opt for more of a maybe you ignore that objective altogether and opt for more of a balanced play style here. But here we are into a game number 1 into our draft. We have, again, Adorable Wolves going to be the first pick in the draft today. And you'll see here, we have 3 bands each. That's so much more different than what we're used to, what we've been playing with for 2 whole years now. 2 years, maybe 3 years, something like that. Somewhere around there. We have been playing with bands of 2 Pokemon, one from each side. But as the roster grows, the number of bands 2 bands each, only 4 bands, that's not going to be enough. So as the roster grows, so does the number of bands. So that does mean that our players are going to have more opportunities to be able to ban out more unique picks. So we have Charizard, Slowbro, Blissey coming out from Adorable Wolves, Hoopa, Snorlax, and Suicune coming out for the side of Bushcheck. Now, now you see there's no overlap here, but these bands are blind banned. So what does that mean? That means they could ban out potentially the same Pokemon. So we didn't get any overlap this time. That means our teams are finally getting used to it. Being able to be in that first pick, you're like, okay, what likely are they going to ban in a second pick scenario that we might not have to touch, you know? So if you want to get rid of that Ho-Oh, maybe that's an option. Maybe that's something you don't want to go with. But we're going to see Trevenant locked in on JC. A nice demonic tank coming in here. Solar looking to lock in possibly another tank, a duo tank here. No, we're going to get baited, and Hawker is going to swap in with the Comfey on Serena with the Winter Wolf. Yoga locking in that Eldegoss. I love me a great Eldegoss game. Such a fantastic and underrated supporter. Demo on that Leafeon, ready to show us just how demonic they can be. Potpourri locking in Aegis/Ravadas on that Umbreon. Ooh, another demon tank. This is going to be the demon demon tree versus the demon of the night. So this is going to be really interesting to see how they're going to be able to pivot, because Trevenant did get that nice new buff. Now, whether or not we're going with Curse to inflict that little bit of a stun at the end there, go for AoE, or if we're going to more Woodhammer for more position control and more stuns coming out that way. But I believe Horn Leech, we are going to see Horn Leech no matter what. We have Solar coming in on that Armarouge, and we have MG locking in that Absol with Skeleton Pie locking in Raichu. So the beautiful thing here about this Armarouge here is that it's able to either go Fire Spin or go Armor Cannon. So based on what you see on the other team, you can now decide, what do I want to do? They see the incense there, so I think we are going to go for that Fire Spin build. So that means that Raichu's going to have advantage being able to strike from more of a distance. So we got a lot of stuff coming in here. Comfey's only a single target heal, which means Adorable Wolves already has to be prepared. They have to be ready for this onslaught coming in. But look at JC's build. We got Cookie, Score Shield, Goal Getter. Bro is ready to offlane and score, let me tell you, and I am here for it, because that is the purpose of this map. A lot of Pokemon, a lot of teams have typically come into the past here where they have been like, you know what, we're going to play for team fights, or we're going to play for objective secure, or maybe a little bit more map control. A lot of teams, and what was more of a niche strategy was score comp. With Groudon here, it's even more important with how detrimental this can be here. It's going to be even more important that we get, sorry, I got pinged there. I just needed to make sure it wasn't our teams. But it's going to be even more important now that our teams are going to be, oh, I may not have. Oh, yeah, no, we didn't. We got the camera there. Oh, look at that. Already we're at a practice, and it's only been a day. But our teams need to anyways, let's scrap that thought there. Let's go into this. We have Adorable Wolves, your purple team, and we have Bushcheck, your orange team, has hit game number 1 of the first set of week 2 for Articuno League. Already, we are off to a decent start here. Solar being able to secure at least one of these bottom farm here. But Skeleton Pie is not holding back. They've already dove in and got them down. Leafeon, Demo is already up here in the top. And I have already lost control of the controller. Oh, but look at MG just striking down, taking names and numbers and taking them in. But, oh, Hakra coming in here, nice. But Potpourri is like listening, like, hey, man, I'm right here. I have you back. I have your back. But Winter Wolf is so close to that level 6. Look at that. That is level 4. Now we're at level 5. We gotta get to that level 6. Level 6 Serena by 8 minutes would be demonic. Would also be ideal. Demo is already level 5 as well. Going to be able to come in here. Absol already contesting those middle Natus. Missed it whether he got it or not. Hawker going to go back into the top lane here, but we've already got a nice engage into the bottom here. Skeleton Pie and Ravad is keeping that pressure on. Solar and JC are already in a strong disadvantage here. We do not have that Armarouge online at all yet. Serena's still behind. Armarouge still behind. We still have a Phantom, which has arguably more experience than what the Armarouge has. But we have more levels. We have Raichu level 7. Potpourri is also only level 6, so we didn't press our advantage. So we're not behind by too much. Bush check going nicely onto this Regidrago. This will be team-wide experience. This will be key experience that they're going to need to try to hit their threshold sooner. This is something Adorable Wolves definitely needed, but they didn't get it. Hakra, MG, we got 4 of them all down here from Adorable Wolves. Winter Wolf up in the top all alone. Going to be able to come through here. But again, we still don't have control. We're just tapping through, hoping we get the right action here. What's going on with that Serena up top there? Oh my gosh. All right, Armor Rouge is online. We are ready to go. We are Armor Cannon to try to go toe-to-toe with that Raichu. All in on these Swablues, coming through here. Beat, coming through. Absol's going demonic, getting on Skeleton Pie, but their armor, oh my gosh, the Umbreon and Eldegoss combo was just too strong for poor NG. Coming in there, it just wasn't enough. That is one of the powers of Raichu, being able to kite far and away with every move use. Huge swipe coming out here, but MG's back. They're not done yet. They are ready to stomp. They are ready to, I don't know, I can't think of anything that rhymes with stomp, but they're here and they're ready to take these engages. Coming down here into the bottom here, we do have the Regieleki. So this is another feature of the map. The Regis do change where they spawn in. Though the Raichu does get the secure. The Armor Rouge, not able to get the Armor Cannon up, was stunned out of it. Absol with a nice sucker punch to try to get away, but ended in the back lines. Not going to be enough, as now Bush Check furthers their lead by over triple the points. Meanwhile, Demo, just being a demon, and just taking up residency within the Adorable Wolves central path, taking all of that experience for themselves. Are like, listen, I mean, someone's got to if you're not gonna. And they're gonna eat it. They're gonna take it all up. Boom, boom, boom. One after another. Adorable Wolves is sending a lot of Pokemon into the fray here. They're looking for any sort of KO, but they are under leveled, and the more they feed, the more they get powered up, and the more points they give, which also translates into more experience. We have to find a way to come into this. We're at 530. Trevenant is still level 8, not even close to level 9. Armor Rouge just hit level 8, also not close to level 9. Comfey just ticked into its Unite move as well. MG trying to get to level 10, but now they've just gotten onto par with the Umbreon. Level 11 on the Raichu, level 11 on that Aegislash, level 12 on that Leafeon. Bush Check is just running away with these levels. What a nice eject button from Skeleton Pie there. Being able to come through and just say, hey, you know what? I know what's coming. Boop, I'm gone. Baited and take that. But already now, Adorable Wolves is rotating into the bottom lane. They got to get experience. They got to get points. They got to get something on the board here. So we're going to go for 26 points here. 76 to 324. And we have Demo already locking in 45 points into the top here. But Winter Wolf is going to come and stop that. Can Demo get away? That is almost level 13. That is a KO you definitely wanted. But Regieleki is going to get cleaned up off the map. 423 is when it was taken, which means another one is coming back at 223 to be sent straight down Adorable Wolves' home pad. This is a win condition for Bush Check, not an ideal situation for Adorable Wolves. We have to find a way to get back into this game. Play as a 5, play as a group, find your picks. There's a lot of experience on the board still, but a lot of it is contested, and Bush Check is not wasting a single morsel of it. Our teams are now scouting for positions. We know they could be going for the bot side. That is one of the strongest ways to go. But we already have the Cotton Cloud Crash, and we have the Midnight Slash coming out here. Huge Sucker Punch coming out. Can we pick up this Aegislash? No, we're not. Absol's down, and Wolf is down. Serena's gone. Oh, they get the Raichu. That's huge. Level 13 Raichu's good experience back their way. It is a full team wipe, though, and they're going to take full advantage of this. They may not be going towards the pads for score, but they will be going into the central path here to take as much of this experience away from Adorable Wolves as possible. MG is level 12. Solar is level 12. Our Winter Wolf is also level 12. We're farming up our level 13s. Meanwhile, Skeleton Pie, still only 13. Demo looking for that 15. Potpourri going to be getting that 14 here shortly as well. They're doing an incredible job of being able to stay ahead. Ravada's going to be getting its second upgrade on Umbreon. Not something you see very much, but we do have only 5 seconds left onto this bottom objective. Raichu already down here hitting the Skeleton Pie, wasting no time. Potpourri joining them along with Ravada's. They are taking down this Regieleki. Adorable Wolves has opted to pull a lot of scores in. They're back in the map. They're 168 to 374. But the way things are going, 244 to 374, now they're going to be looking to take... Oh, Bushcheck is taking a deep position on the opposite side of the pick, but Adorable Wolves isn't even there. JC's just checking to see if they're coming there, but we're going for a 3-man flip. Oh my goodness. All right, so we got 5v3 going on here. We have to just let the Regieleki go in, but that's still dangerous. You got to take this team fight now. Solar's the only one on Adorable Wolves with the Unite move as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fall to the Bush Checkers. They check their bushes, but Bush Check is not done yet. They are now going to be taking out this Groudon. They now have the buffs. You gotta play defensive. Regieleki did go in, but it's not alone here. Do we break that top pad? We do. 244 to 476. This game is not done yet. Remember, you get a KO on any Pokemon with the buff from Groudon, and that is going to be, that buff now going to be on that Pokemon. Adorable Wolves still very much in this. They could get these buffs. They could take these KOs. They might be able to swing it. That's going to be a huge gap to crush, though. 50 seconds to pull out 330 points. JC just goes down here. Now it's going to be up to the rest of Adorable Wolves to come in and try to secure it. Oh my gosh, the team wipe from Bush Check was enough to secure this game number 1 for this best of 5 set. Well done, both teams. Well done. What an awesome set to come into. Bush Check being able to just identify what they need to do to stay ahead, what they need to do to control the map, and they absolutely did that. They knew their ends or they knew their outs, and they were able to put it down there. But Adorable Wolves recognized they were behind. They recognized that Bush Check might be waiting in a position to catch them out at the Groudon pit. So what they opted to do instead was they allowed themselves to just get themselves back into this game without being at a huge deficit of points. So they just bum rushed these pads, broke 2, scored a whole bunch of points, put themselves back on the map, and then turned to go for the Groudon flip. What they needed to do, though, is because they split up. They had one person go off and try to 1v5. They had another person hold on to that Regieleki while 3 tried to rip the Groudon. That is just not going to fly. You got to work as a 5. The game is called Pokemon Unite. But as we come in here, 54k respectable from MG, 110 from Skeleton Pie. The MVPs of this demo coming in 406 points with 68k damage locking in. And if we take a look at the points here, we did have a lot of plateaus from the side of Adorable. This wasn't a whole lot of scoring. This just goes to show just how much map pressure that Bush Check was able to exert. So now that we have that said and done, let's go check in with our teams and see if they're going to keep it. So we're just going to check keeping first pick. But whoo! What a game number 1, folks. What a game number 1. Bush Check already off to an amazing start here. That's exactly what you want to be. In a best of 5 set, it can take a long time to try and get things down. You want to make sure that you are going to be you're in for the long haul. It could be a 90-minute set all upwards. So you want to make sure that you get your wins locked in super quickly. So we are going to have a little bit of a thing there, but all right, I'm getting pinged. I'm going to tell. All right, now we're just making sure we are getting everything settled and done. We have pinged our teams. We're going to see who's keeping what, but oh my gosh, again, what a first set. What a first game number one. All right, we're going to head back to the lobby there. We're going to take a look and we're going to take back, but let's check in with the chat here. Let's see what you guys have to say on that. Thoob, Billowing Oak. It was such a close game. You're absolutely right, Thoob. It was a close game indeed. Oh, who runs the Articuno League? Oh, who runs the Articuno League is going to be Maul. They are fantastic for doing this. They have done this before as well, giving a lot of teams opportunities to come in and flex their stuff within a very competitive environment, and not just doing that, but allowing certain flexibilities such as scheduling, so on like that. The Articuno League is just fantastic, and they're not stopping there. There's already talks of possibly bringing in in-houses as well for just for the teams that are participating in the Articuno League Season 10. So that is also something to look forward to, and if you're interested in joining for Season 11, I have just the thing for you to make sure you're up to date and watching those announcements. We're going to post a nice handy dandy Discord link. We're going to pin that to the top of the chat. So if you want to join the Articuno League, that Discord link is going to be the way to go. It is pinned at the top of the chat there. Join it, come in, say hi. We got a lot of cool teams that would love to meet you. We got a lot of cool people that love to play with you. And we got a lot of cool events that are going to be coming up. So stay tuned and keep posted with that. But back to the game here. How do we pivot now from Adorable Wolves going into game number 2 with what do you call in there? Bush check. So how do we pivot into that? Well, one of the ways that we could see Adorable Wolves pivot into this is looking to lean more into their score comp. Trevin was the one with the goal getter and the score shield. Not ideal into that Pokemon right there. So you want to make sure. So that's not ideal for that Pokemon. What you want to do for this instead is you want to build up your tank to be more of a tank. Focus on your Absol. Focus on another scoring-based Pokemon to try to get those scores instead. Talonflame, really good. Dodrio, really good. Leafeon, very, very good. As we saw Demo do that, 406 points, guys. 406 from Demo alone. Huge demon on that. Bush check eclipsed 1,000 points that last game. You got to say, and if it's 1,000 points and Demo scored 400, bro scored 40%. 40% of the team's whole total. Not just half. 40%. That means the other 4 guys only got 60% to split between themselves. That means a 15% split for each of them at best. And bro almost tripled them. Let me tell you, that is a fantastic way to go into this. You got to keep that map pressure on, got to keep that score pressure going. And I think Adorable Wolves needs to lean into this. This is a strategy that they have been experimenting with in the previous Articuno League match, something that we've seen them experiment previously on stream in their own scrims that we've captured on stream here. So it's something that we want to make sure that we're leaning into. Make sure it's practiced, make sure it's honed in, because I think that is the way to go. But our teams are ready, and you know what ready means? Ready means draft time, baby! So here we go. Adorable Wolves going to keep that first pick on the purple side here. Bush Check going to stay on the orange side. Very cool color, if you ask me. One of my favorites coming in. Unite picked great colorings, by the way. But now we're going to come in and we're going to take our bans here. We're going to go banning on Blastoise, Slowbro, Talonflame? Nah, we're pivoting off Blastoise, going straight into Leafeon. That means we are going to be focused on Hoopa, Snorlax, and Suicune. Everybody having to say, going to be 1-1-1, but they really didn't like that Snorlax Suicune, so we got 2 votes each on that. So, now with no overlap bans, we do have Talonflame gone. That means that's not going to be a scorer in their pocket there. Leafeon gone. Demo, you got to find a new Pokemon, man. You can't just do those dirty things again. Slowbro coming in. They don't want Ravadas touching Slowbro, let me tell you. But Suicune's gone. They don't want JC on that Snorlax there because that's a good call there. Snorlax is so mean. But Hoopa, they know the Hoopa tech. They're like, Adorable Wolves? Hakra? Hoopa? Get it out of here. Banned it. Targeted. Gone. And they're going to target another one of Hawker's favorites on that Blissey. Getting rid of that Blissey. That's gone now. Yoga being able to pull into this as well. Ravadas locking in Umbreon again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So far, we got a very bulky core. Blissey, Umbreon have a lot of good synergy, being able to work together to not just get vision, but to keep each other supported while also getting vision. And we have Absol as the first pick on the side. We have Absol as the first pick on the side of Adorable Wolves. That's a very dangerous pick to be able to do because Absol is a high damage Pokemon. You don't necessarily want to throw out high damage. Now we got Crustle being locked in, and we have Garchomp coming in here. Already, that's a decent core, but again, we did reveal a lot of damage already. So already we're looking in. What's going to counter Absol? What's going to counter that Garchomp? Inteleon. We got a lot of range coming in there. Buzzwole. Going to be able to fling them around. We got nice bulk coming in here. Psyduck on Hakra. Very strong player on this Pokemon here. You got to watch out. You ban their Blissey. You take their Blissey. You ban their Hoopa. Well, you better ban the rest of the supporter roster because I'll tell you right now, there isn't barely anything unless it's Sableye that Hakra can't play. It's Solar. Solar's going to be coming in on, living up to their name on that Venusaur. Now, whether this is going to be Beams or Petal Dance, we don't know, guys. We absolutely do not know. We do have Blaziken coming in on Demo. Going to be locking that in now. Now we have 30 seconds to see who's going to be swapping. MGJC already swapped it around. They're going to be MG back on that Absol Crustle in the hands of JC. Everybody else on the side of Adorable looking like they're not interested in swapping at all. But we're going to go over to the side of Bush Check there. Nobody's swapping either. Yoga coming in on that Blissey, Ravadas on that Umbreon, Demo on that Blaziken, Hakra on that Psyduck, and Solar sticking to that Venusaur. Woo, what a team, what a bulk here. So we got some nice early game stuns between the Psyduck and the Crustle here for Adorable Wolves. Gibble, strong early game. Absol, one of the strongest ganks in the game. One of the hardest Pokemon to invade because of just how powerful it is with those crits. Venusaur is probably going to be the weakest lane of them all, but you got to make sure you push. One of the advantages that Bush Check managed to get over on Adorable Wolves is the pressure game. In that early game, they exerted a lot of pressure on Adorable Wolves. So now we got to figure out how we're going to be able to counter this. But the side of Bush Check here, that Inteleon, that is going to be a hard Pokemon to come through. Blaziken's got great secure. Buzzwole's got great team fighting there. Umbreon has great peel, but also has great engage. And Blissey, it's Blissey. I don't really need to say much. There's not much Blissey can't do. I'm just saying. But we come into game number 2. Adorable Wolves, your purple team. Bush Check, your orange team. As Gibble and Buzzwole trade blows in game number 2. Already going for it now. We're keeping the pressure on the opposing side. Gibble already backing off. These spawners are not coming up. Again, they are more static. They're more spread out. Gibble's trying to get those stacks up. Keep them up. You do not want to go into a fully boosted auto stacked Gibble because that thing will shred you no matter how much healing you have behind you. But we do have camera control back in this game number 2 here, so that is much better, hopefully with more observation work. Look, those 3 little Natsus, MG not even worried. We do have that gank from coming in from Demo here, coming into the bottom lane. We did see the Absol. That means that they are down here. They're going to take the majority of these birds, but Solar is going to come online at level 5, while JC still trying to struggle to become a fully housed crab. The housing crisis be real. Oh my gosh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Winter Wolf has said, you know what? I'm going to take a leaf from your book. We're going to keep the pressure on. Boom, boom, boom. 34-0. Adorable Wolves has come back, and they are here to fight. They're now farming. They're now taking. But Demo's saying, look at this. This ain't happening here. They're going to say, listen, you take mine, I take yours. We just get to share, bro. Did no one teach you how to share? MG said, no, I don't want to share. So now they're coming through. They're chasing down the Demo. Now they're grabbing him. Absol grabs the KO and gets the buff back. That was taken from their central lane. Revadas and Potpourri are coming down here, but it's not going to be enough as Psyduck manages to surf them away. Reggie Drago has appeared. Huge experience for the team that takes it. Now they're going to come through. We're going to fight it. Buzzwell trying to secure it with the Absol there, but that wasn't able to use the Absol for much of anything, and instead gets taken down itself. And is that a Garchomp with Earthquake? Whoa! There's a lot of awesome strategies coming out here, and we're just going to break this pad instantly. 5 seconds left until the 720 birds come up, but in the face of all of this, Blaziken is level 7. It is stacking for free in the top lane. It's now level 8, all alone, ready for 9. We don't know which lane has the objectives yet. So let's see, in 5 seconds, who gets it? Who's in this bottom lane? Regieleki in the bottom lane with a pad already broke. That is great for Adorable Wolves. That means it's going to be one of the trio Reggies. Registeel in the top side here. Already we have Absol, but taken down by the Blaziken. Wasn't much of a fight. That is a squishy Absol versus a very bulky Blaziken. That's going to be very, very tough indeed. Yo, Unkoku Flare, thank you so much for the raid. Oh my gosh, definitely going to give you a follow there, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For those of you just joining in, we're in the Articuno League, week 2 of Adorable Wolves, your purple team, Bush Check, your orange team, as we now come through and get this game underway. The Politoed icon? Oh, that's not even a frog. I'm so sorry to get you baited like that. That's just a regular turtle. Oh, no. But there is a stream delay of 2 minutes, so I apologize if I don't get to... If you come in here and you're like, bro, didn't even call out my raid. What? 2-minute delay, I promise. But once again, thank you for the raid. I don't know how to do a shout out. That is a thing I don't understand technology a whole lot. I'm still learning. But as we come into this game here, 116-31. Oh, my Adorable Wolves has taken this game by storm. The Bliss Assist coming in onto that Buzzwole. Ultra Swole Slam coming in. But it's not going to be enough as Adorable Wolves has taken this game by storm, putting this fight in the way. But Demo is living up to the demon name. Going here 1 and 2. Knocked out on Adorable Wolves as now Skeleton Pie goes for a huge Unite move. Going to be coming through here with basic attacks, forcing out Hakra and Solar, forcing them back onto their pad and away from the push that they had. Killed the momentum, pushed them forward. Oh, it's a shiny squirrel. I saw a tiny version of it. It's not even as Pokemon, I promise. I'm so sorry. I should be more Pokemon themed since I am Pokemon Unite based. 8 more seconds until this Regieleki spawns back in here now. We do have a JC down here with Unite move. Revadas does have Unite move coming in. Nice wall from JC blocking out Skeleton Pie, stopping them. Garchomp going straight for the rip. Absol going straight for the rip. Then there it goes. Regieleki recruited and playing the 6th member for Adorable Wolves. Someone report them because that wasn't in the registration forms. We didn't see no Regieleki. But now we have Demo in the bottom lane here with the rest, with Revadas and Yoga here. We have MG coming in. They want to push this in, but they're not going to be able to find any sort of advantage without Unite moves. They have the Livid Outrage on Garchomp, but it's just that alone is not going to be enough. We're going to follow Adorable Wolves' flow of through the lanes here as we have a dig Earthquake onto Potpourri. Huge damage from Inteleon hitting that Absol. Absol was just caught out. The Livid Outrage comes through again. Oh, huge damage from the Winter Wolf. But Potpourri says, I'm on pad. You're just a Garchomp. What are you going to do if I keep smacking you around and throwing you around? But Demo coming through, being able to lock down Solar as they turn their attention to Regirock. What do you mean fire Pokemon are weak to rocks? Well, Demo's ready to say that's going to be a disadvantage because I got the overheat, I got the secure, but Buzzwole said, you know what? I just got stolen by an Inteleon. Water, beach, rock every time. But Bushcheck is not going to be letting up. This push is still here. The threats are still there. They have huge defense buffs, but they are going to wear off. But you know what's not gone and worn off yet? Regidrago with an expert rip and secure from Bushcheck. 146 to 31. They are behind. Adorable Wolves managed to keep the lead in the points, but they have fallen behind on the levels. That is something that we can't have as well. Regieleki spawning in 10 seconds in the bottom lane. Garchomp and Absol level 2, but Solar needs to work on that level 13. That beam from Venusaur needs to get huge, and it needs to get huge quick. At only level 11, we need another full level in a bit. Nice secure from Solar there. That's going to be level 12 in a bit, and now to work on 13. And we have 30 seconds until Groudon appears. And I'll tell you right now, I think Bushcheck is going to be looking for a fight. They're going to be checking their bushes as they're living up to their team's monikers, but they're trying to force out JC's Unite move here. But they're going to collapse on Potpourri. Buzzwole caught out. Huge KO timer. That means it's going to be down going into this. 50 points might be able to come into the top here, but they're going to think twice. They don't want to give away their position too much. We don't have vision on where Bushcheck is. We know Buzzwole's down, and that's about it. But JC's taking so much damage. Look at that 1 HP in a dream. Is forced to unite to survive. That means we will not have the Crustle unite for this engage. Crustle has to give up position in base just for HP. What an expert play from Skeleton Spy, being able to land those. Now, we're already poking and prodding. Bushcheck knows they need this. They're trying to kidnap the Hakra here, but you got to realize Hakra doesn't get kidnapped. Hakra kidnaps you. JC, on the other hand, putting down the walls there. Garchomp going straight in, diving onto there. But where's their team? They haven't fallen, but they've fallen back completely. They left the Garchomp out to dry, and he goes down because Bushcheck collapsed. Showing unity and teamwork coming into this. We are so fragmented and scattered. This is exactly what Bushcheck was going in for. They knew that on the team fights, they were going to be able to have an advantage coming into this. But Adorable Wolves is hanging in there. The bulk on Crustle, the bulk on Garchomp, the bulk on Psyduck coming in clutch. 55 seconds now. We have to make a play for Bushcheck. Whether it scores, whether it's something. But Blaziken is low. Huge Solar Beam coming out. 1 HP in a dream. Garchomp's going for it. Takes down the Blissey. Solar Beam takes down Demo. It's gone. It's out of here. Another Solar Beam locks down Potpourri. Ravadus and Skeleton Pie are the only ones still up. Down and down. We have one left. We don't even need it. Skeleton Pie can't rip the Groudon. They have to score. But even if they have a 50 cap and get it in, it's not enough. 25 seconds coming in. Adorable Wolves expertly sorting this out, keeping them down. Hawk going for a cheeky score. It's not going to be enough. 18 seconds left. Blissey comes back, but we're still 3 members down on Bushcheck. Absol with 33 points going into the top here, going for that cheeky score. Come on, get it in. Go for it, Absol. 41. Can you get it in time? Another 82 points coming in here. What a show from Adorable Wolves. They have come back fighting stronger than ever. They have said, you know what? It gave you game 1. We just need a little warm up, dust it off, and now we're back with a vengeance. Whoo! What a game. What a set so far. We are now 1-1, folks. 1-1. Oh my gosh. This is the kind of games. This is the kind of teams that could bring you to a game number 5 in the best of 5 set. Nobody in match point position, but look at this. Oh my gosh. MG coming in 54k, Garchomp 65, Solar 61, Skeleton Pie locking in 69, Demo 65, lock that in, Potpourri 30k damage, but that wasn't their job this game. They They locked in a lot, and I mean a lot, of picks. They locked in a lot of superpowers, being able to pull things away, a lot of smackdowns, a lot of good engages. So you got to look at the utility of the Pokemon that's coming in there, and Potpourri did a fantastic job. Ravadus, not much tanking on it, which is actually speaks more to Adorable Wolves. It's not that Ravadus wasn't there, it's that Adorable Wolves just didn't care. They just moved around it, weaved and dipped and dodged and dove, and they just got onto Blissey and Buzzwole. And Skeleton Pie, although 27k taken, still not bad. That means they only went down either once or twice throughout the whole match. That is peak. That's good. That's the kind of attacker you want. I want to take a look at the scores there. Look at that. Bush check, complete plateau. Adorable Wolves, first 6 minutes of the game, first 5 minutes of the game, score, till they got to where they wanted. They couldn't find another opportunity as Bush check started to come back and focus on levels. But again, because they were focusing so much on the levels, so much on the team fight, that what they neglected on scoring more. 31 at the end there, that's going to hit you hard. You had a level 14 Blaziken. You had the levels. You had the team fight. You had the comp behind you. You just weren't able to execute. And Adorable Wolves, with the chaotic spread, kept them on their toes. Well done. But now we are going to go done, and we're going to take a look, and we're going to check in with our teams and make sure we are still good. We're going to check in with Skeleton Pie, see if they are going to take first pick. But oh my gosh. All right, they're going to take second pick there. All right. Now we're going to wait for the ready checks to come in. So that means that Bush check is going to keep that second pick positioning there. So, Fairy, how do you do a shout out? Is it slash? Shout out. Oh, a shout out was given. Okay. Okay, perfect. I don't know who did that. I think it was one of my moderators, or if it was somebody automatically doing it. Heck yeah, we love that. We love that. All right. But I am so glad. I hope you guys are enjoying it, by the way. There's a lot of awesome game to still be had. Again, this is a best of 5 set. Both teams have only just gotten to 1-1 in their set here. So we still have at minimum 2 more games to go, and at worst 4 more games to go. Well, I say at worst, but at best 4 more games to go. So we got a lot of stuff to be able to come in and work here. So we're just waiting for one of the members of Adorable Wolves, MG, to come back in here. And the reason we're calling them out is they need to get a new phone. Come on, MG. Come on, MG. You gotta get streaming again, man. You gotta get those views. You gotta get that stuff going. Get your phone on there, do that stuff. Because I'll tell you right now, MG unfortunately is working with a little bit of tech issues where they have to reset after every game. And they're not alone. I know plenty of players that have to do the very same thing. On both mobile and Switch sometimes. They have to just reset their games after every match because they're just not able to keep going, or they increase the risk of a crash, and we don't want that in a tournament setting like this. So 2 games down, at least 3 more to go in this best of 5 set. Who is going to take it? I don't know, but we are going to see who shortly. But now that MG is back in the lobby, we're going to be waiting. So how does Bushcheck come back? And I think Bushcheck still had the tools to win the match, but what set them behind was the fact that they focused more on getting their levels and getting ready for the team fight over an objective that didn't necessarily translate into a win. So they were risking it all on a full team wipe, going for the objective and pushing into the pads once again. It just didn't work out that way. So I think coming into there, they have to pivot back into the previous strategy. Focus on scores. Put yourself in a position where you don't need Groudon and then zone out the enemy so that they can't just flip it on you, but then make sure that you're close enough to your pads. There's a lot of back and forth that you got to come in and look at. But we took a swig of water. Our teams are ready to go. They said ready, and now we're going into game number 3. So here is the draft as we come into here. All right, so Adorable Wolves, still your purple team. Bush Check, still your orange team. Nobody wants to give this up. They are fine as is. We still have 3 bands coming through. We have, we're looking at Snorlax possibly on Hawker. No, we're going to keep the same ones. We're getting rid of that Leafeon, getting rid of that Slowbro, getting rid of that Talonflame. 1, 2, 3, out of here. Getting rid of that Suicune, getting rid of that Blissey, getting rid of that Hoopa. Hoopa made it through! Hoopa made it through! Snorlax made a stealth visit. Blissey is now banned out. Hoopa made it through. Is Adorable Wolves going to lock that sucker in? This is one of their strongest Pokemon. Hoopa made it through. I guarantee you, if Adorable... Hoopa's locked in. Hakra's here. Hoopa game. We got Hoopa gaming coming in now. Oh my gosh. You hate to see it when that happens. This is why you need to make sure that your team is fully on board with what you're banning. There were 4 different bans on the side of Bush Check, all with 1 vote each. The system decided to say, you know what, we're going to randomly choose 3 of them, and Hoopa missed the mark. Despite Demo locking that in first and saying, hey, Hoopa's got to go, it was the Snorlax that made the final cut. They let the Hoopa in. Oh my gosh. But now Bush Check has to really think about how they're going to be able to contend this. We have Hoopa, Crustle, and Garchomp coming in. Garchomp was a massive presence, a massive threat to Bush Check here. But we are now going on Ravadas, keeping that. On the Umbreon here, we're keeping Potpourri on that Buzzwole, Skeleton Pie, going back onto that Raichu. Demo, taking MG's Absol away, forcing them to play something else. But what are they going to play? Ceruledge. I mean, MG is a fantastic player. They have a lot in their roster here. You take Absol away, he's still got 6 more Pokemon to follow up behind that Absol. So we're opting for double all-rounder here. Ceruledge, Garchomp, both great Pokemon that play into the portals for Hoopa. Great 6 Shred, great Secure, great team fight capabilities. Solar's coming back on that Solar Soar, because let me tell you, Venusaur, one of the top-notch Pokemon after the buff there, going to be able fantastic and great. Yoga locking in the Eldegoss again. It worked for them game number 1. It was fantastic. It was great. This is actually the game number 1 comp, except instead of Leafeon, which is now banned out, we have taken Absol. So we could be seeing the same type of gaming, the same type of maneuvering from game number 1 here in game number 3. We're trying to lock down. So who the winner of this is going to be in match point position. So it's going to be a huge advantage to either side. But look at that gold badge, that shiny, shiny gold badge. You got to watch that Hoopa, man. That is a dangerous Pokemon to let go. Not even just because of Hakra on it, but because in general, this map prioritizes and favors scoring, being able to get ahead. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to say it all season long. I'm going to say it probably until they change a new map. But scoring is the way to go into this game. As we get into the next game with Adorable Wolves, your purple team, we have Bush Check, your orange team, as game number 3 of Articuno League Week 2 kicks off for the first set. For the first game of the week. Whew, we love that. We love the first game of the week here. It's already going great, but Gibble and Buzzwole already coming in. Fell Stinger, hard to outdo. But we do have Gibble going in. The eject button's already wasted. That is a huge resource, but all of that farm is going to go to both Buzzwole and Hoopa. Hoopa managed to get the last hit on that Secure. That's awesome. MG almost level 5. They're working on their ball toys now. Huge engage coming in from the Gibble now as we go into this Buzzwole. But This bottom lane here, we have level 4 Bulbasaur already. Pikachu struggling to get their levels here. Demo is already in the bottom lane, ready to assist. Skeleton Pie is exactly where they want to go. They want this Raichu online so that we can start dishing out massive, massive damage. We can't afford to leave it behind. This Venusaur, though, we want this Venusaur as behind as possible. The longer it's not Venusaur, the more we can snowball. But huge Razor Leaf coming out here onto that Absol. Huge clutch coming down. Hoopa sending MG down to the bottom lane. Ceruledge is here. Absol has to back low HP, but we're locked in a room. Main Look was so mean to MG there as Absol comes in for the quick crit KO. But Adorable Wolves didn't like that. The 4 surviving members have now rotated in the bottom lane. They're like, listen, we expect a push, but it was all a feint. Eldegoss is now evolved. Buzzwole gets a 25er in. We have seen a swing in these points to 38-0. Adorable Wolves does no longer has their momentum. Our XP shares are now in the top lane, taking the Eldegoss, becoming a crusty boy. There we go. The homeless crisis of JC averted as he now gets to carry a big old mansion on his back. Look at that. He even topped it off with a hat. How cute. But Raichu is already laying down huge damage. We got a nice attempt from a score here from MG there. You know, like, you just can't get away. So you're just like, you know what? I'm just going to try this. If it works, it works. And if it don't, it don't. I'm going down either way. But Hoopa's now down here to save this pad as much as they can. Valiant effort as Adorable Wolves now rushes through. 130 cap comes through, 230 caps. Stopped on the second 30 cap. Grabs the Absol. Gonna go down here. It's just Solar all alone as JC reconnects. Grabs up and says, listen, bro, I'm here. Crustal's here, and I got the X Scissor. Remember how Mom used to say, don't run with scissors? Well, let me tell you, Crustal didn't get that memo because he's running with 2 of them. But Regidrago is here. It's been here for a whole minute. Can't believe teams have ignored him for this long. As Skeleton Pie looks to lock that in, take it down. JC with the late attempt on the secure there. But we're going for the shred. The power of the rip already at work between Solar and between Winter Wolf and MG here. But now we're going on Skeleton Pie. We're diving in. We got it locked down. Hoopa Portal's coming in. Winter Wolf not quite able to make it as the Absol with the Midnight Slash, the first Unite move of the game. Gonna lock down and take it down. 3 level 10s, trip 10s on the side of Bush Check. They are not fooling around. Venusaur finally evolved, but Skeleton Pie finally taken down by this MG as he now takes down Ravadus, gets to level 10 and scores a huge 40 cap. There we go, 97-128 as Regieleki barrels down towards the top path. The Reggies have decided we're just going to play a little bit more static this game. We're going to play a little bit more like regular Thea Sky Ruins, almost like it's Rayquaza, but we're going to be a little monkey wrench in there because it's not Rayquaza, it's Groudon. Groudon being a fantastic objective too. One of my favorites so far that they've introduced. I absolutely am loving it. But now our teams need to figure out how they're going to approach this. We have a top pad, we have a front pad and opposite lanes of each other, but now we're going to be looking to push a little bit deeper. Bushcheck does have the advantage with this front pad being gone. Demo zoning out MG, but now we have vision and know where they are. The hyperspace portal is going to be telling where Adorable Wolves is, but we're not coming back. That's a smart play because Skeleton Pie set a few traps there on that pad, on that portal coming back. That was very, very smart. You can tell these teams are here to play. Crustal doesn't have Unite move, gets taken down by the Skeleton Pie. That Raichu's Electro Ball is too... Thunderstorm Aerial coming out now. Huge sludge bombs down. Revenant Ren picking up a little hit on the Ravadus, but not going to be enough. Huge Rings Unbound to someone, everybody, especially this level 10 Garchomp. Oh, who decided not to take it back? All right. He's just like, you know what? I'm just going to walk. Who needs it? But 1, 2, and 3 are down for the side of Bushcheck as now Adorable Wolves claims the Reg Ice and now takes a nice little lead into this bottom lane. Now they're going to be pushing here. We already have Potpourri and Yoga up in the top here, so they're not going to be with the team. We have Skeleton and Ravadus going for a nice little defense here. Adorable Wolves is a little bit hesitant on the push. You got to commit or back off. Like, pick a lane. You can't have both. You can't just be like poke, 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 because all you're doing is giving Demo time to get back here. Nice midnet slice coming back in, survives it, but wasn't able to pick up any sort of KO on MG. MG's like, Absol's my homeboy. I know how that guy runs. I know what to do. I know how to dodge it. I don't need no phantom force to get away from it. I just need good skills and jukes. But speaking of skills and jukes, 5-man push into this bottom lane. I don't know who told Bushcheck, but Bushcheck got a memo saying, listen, we need to break this bottom pad. 32 into 21 for only an 11-point over, but that's 178 points to 97. A whole hundo burger separates these teams as we now collapse, take down Regilecki. Adorable Wolves takes it, grabs it, and starts sending it. 70 points on this front pad here as we try to break it. Oh, but we do get huge cap in for a nice, 20 over, 187 to 178. And with that, Adorable Wolves takes the lead. 60 seconds now away from Groudon, as now 50 points coming in from that Absol. That is huge. Huge indeed, because what this does now is it sets it's now going to give a definitive timer to Bushcheck about who is in the lead. 11 seconds now on this bottom objective, the final one of the game before Groudon spawns in. Let's see which one it's going to be, which is going to give their final blessing. Regirock. Adorable Wolves going full cycle into this. They want this, they need it, they're taking it. Nice with a Garchomp secure. 13 on Ceruledge, 13 on Venusaur, 12 on Garchomp. Their levels are some of the highest they've been into this set so far. 13 on Raichu, 13 on Buzzwole, 14 on Absol. Opting for a more stronger position in the top here, Adorable Wolves is now in the bottom, opting for the same position. Adorable Wolves now being told they are behind on points. So they are the ones that need to make a move. They need to find a pick. Huge hit on Skeleton Pie. Huge portal going to be coming through. Grabbing and saving. Buzzwole not going to be able to stop it. The Revenant Ren comes through. Picks up the KO on Yoga. Yoga goes down here as we chase down Skeleton Pie. But the Rings Unbound saves MG from certain fate of destruction there. But Potpourri takes down Solar. Says, hey, listen, it's nighttime now. So you get to go night too. Now Solar is no longer here. But Garchomp just says, listen, we're going to flip it. We're going to shred it. Nobody here. The slow coming down. Absol with the secure. The Garchomp not with any sort of follow-up at all. JC goes down. Solar's coming back. Wolf is down as a 5-man rush from Bushcheck comes in here onto these pads. 48 coming in from Ravadus now as another 26 reigns in with 100, 442 to 187. Hundo Burgers raining into this bottom here. 40 points from Eldegoss, 86 from Raichu, 528 to 187. The game is not over yet, but Bushcheck has opted to decide, you know what? No more pushes. We're going to hang back. 30 seconds left. 400 points to go. Do they have the numbers on their side? They don't in their pockets right now, but they don't necessarily need it in their pockets either. Because what did they need instead? They need KOs. You get enough KOs, you get those buffs, and not more importantly, you get those points. Huge damage on JC. Thought he could handle it. Wasn't enough. Gets taken down. Livid Outrage going to take down Skeleton Pie. But nice Midnight Slash there. MG goes down with the 2 main forces down. Winter Wolf soon to follow. It's just going to be game. There it is. Almost a full team wipe. Bushcheck going to be your winners of game number 2. Give it up for them. What a set. Oh my gosh, what a team fight. I think Adorable Wolves definitely would have had it. That Groudon rip. Not necessary. Not necessary at all. The bushes have been checked yet. Have the bushes been checked yet? Asking for a friend. Go MG, go. You got fans here. No focus on Garchomp's Brave. Magician, interesting Buzzalt. Oh my gosh. Welcome in, Slimp. Welcome in, Gasper. Welcome in, Luna. I hope you guys are enjoying the show because we got a lot of games coming in for you. 63 on Solar here for damage. 112 off of Skeleton Pie. Oh my gosh. And we look at the scores here. Huge plateaus. We have a lot. Look at this. Again, much similar to game one. Look, this is the trend tonight. With every team that's won, the trajectory of the scores is that they've been scoring and constantly. They put in pressure on. That keeps going and going and going until we get a huge spike. The teams that lose have long plateau streaks or have no scoring at all. So you got to make sure you are keeping the pressure on and finding that, because these trends, this is happening with every team that's been winning so far. It's either you're in the lead, it's either you have those spikes in scoring with the trends going up until you're in the lead and then you can plateau, or you keep it going consistently so that way there you're no longer in that position. So it's a toughie all around. It's a toughie all around. So, but we're gonna take a quick break here. We have to run a quick 3-minute ad here to get off those nasty um pre-rolls there. So give us some time as we move back to the lobby. It's gonna give our teams a little bit more time to come back in here and say, hey, you know what? We got some time, so we're gonna do this. So let's give it a nice 3-minute ad and we'll go from there. But thank you guys for watching and listening, and we appreciate the patience. Yo, Luna, thank you for the bits, the 300 bits. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yo, Slim, thank you for the follow. Mr. Turtles, thank you for the follow. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. Our teams here tonight are doing absolutely phenomenal. All right. All right, we are back from the ad break there. I tried to time it there, but it's hard to do that when you're 2 minutes ahead. So we unfortunately didn't have much of that. So what we're going to do is we are going to get ready checks from our teams, try to get MG back into here. Everybody that followed in bits, Luna, I think the ad covered it up, but thank you for the 300 bits, Luna. Thank you for the follow, Mr. Turtles. Thank you for the follow, Slimp. We really appreciate every follow and every bits up onto this channel here. It helps so much being able to promote not just the projects we do, but ourselves as well. And we appreciate the support. So guys, thank you. Cannot express that enough. So, but as we are getting in here, again, Bush check in a 2-1 lead here in this set. Now we are in match point position to be able to take this entire set by storm. Adorable Wolves needs to make a comeback. They had it. They almost brought it back, but there was a little bit of a mishap of where they ripped it without any follow-up. You can't do that in the face of Raichu, in the face of Absol. You gotta find it. Was they almost got it, but all it takes was one auto to take it, and Raichu may not have autoed for it, but it certainly secured it with that Absol. You gotta be very careful when you do something like that. But Adorable Wolves had that game. Bush check was behind. They were scattered. So after a little bit of a break here, our teams are ready to go. They're ready to fly. So let's get this done here, ready to go, and let's start the next match. But as we come now, we're in our draft. Adorable Wolves remaining on the purple side. Bush check sticking to your orange side. So this is going to be massive because now Adorable Wolves opting to keep that first pick position, that first pick on the Pokemon there. But this means that we have a last pick scenario for Bush check. We're going to get rid of Talonflame, Slowbro, Leafeon. Getting rid of those Pokemon right there. Suicune, Hoopa, bye-bye. And Venusaur, bye-bye. This means Blissey is up. This means that Snorlax is up. And now that they're no longer banning Snorlax, the Blissey Snorlax combo could go to the side of Bush check. We're debating it. Ravada's locking in that Snorlax. Excellent peel, excellent engage, excellent struggles for the opponents. Blissey going to come in here. That is a strong, powerful Pokemon. That Bliss Assist being a strong contender. It's just so annoying. Solar hovering that Armor Rouge. Winter Wolf on the Buzzwole. We're locking in all our damage. No, we had a last second swap to the Psyduck. Excellent. And we're making sure we lock in the Buzzwole. But that is a huge damage we're showing there. We've shown our damage in Buzzwole. We've shown our damage in Absol. So that means we're able to start taking counters to them super early. We have Potpourri locking in Zacian, Skeleton Pie locking in Inteleon. Inteleon was a destructive force for them coming into at the end of that last game. Zacian going to be able to come in and inflict a lot of early game pressure. That could be a lot of damage. We have a Trevenant and we have a Miraidon followed up as the final picks for Adorable Wolves, and Cinderace going to be locking in as the final pick for Demo. Demo has shown us what they can do on Leafeon, on Absol. Now they get to show us what they are like on this Cinderace. Ooh, I am kind of excited. Demo is just a very versatile player, similar to MG. We have the Absol come out from MG, then we pivoted to a Ceruledge, but instead of an all-rounder, we're pivoting to attackers. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams go match to match. It's Demo versus MG, I'll tell you right now, but Skeleton Pie and Solar are going head-to-head. They are eager to be like, listen, bro, I'm going to deal the more damage than you. I'm going to be more effective. I'm a dragon type and electric type. I not only resist you, but I end you. And Inteleon is like, the types don't matter, bro. As we now have a finger gun coming through here. Or I guess, as TikTok likes to say, the finger pew-pew. You know, because, you know, for some reason they don't like the word gun on there, but whatever. Um, Hawk are going to be going toe to toe. The different types of supporters, the different styles of supporters and tanks here. We have more support, team focused supports for Snorlax and for Blissey. Meanwhile, we have more disruptors for the side of Adorable Wolves with Psyduck and Trevenant. But guys, we can't have a game without going into this. So let's quickly get into game number 4 here. Let's get into game number 4 here with Adorable Wolves, your purple team, and we have a Bush Check, your orange team, as we now going to follow the Miraidon and Phantom into the bottom here against the Snorlax and Teleon. Phantom is already looking for nice pressure here. It misses the Will-O-Wisp there, unfortunately. But now we're going to dive in and try to get these farmed. We got to watch the Snorlax tackles, and we got to watch it. But Inteleon 1 HP in a dream. That bird is going to do it, but not quite. The pad, heals, and shields was enough to save it. Got to watch that water gun. Oh, Skeleton Pie going to lock in everything. Every dirty little secret from Adorable Wolves and those Bunnelbees now belongs to Skeleton Pie. Buttlebee stood no chance. He's like, listen, I'll tell you everything. As Skeleton Pie locks them in the top here. Demo's already up here for the gank, but Absol is waiting. MG is patient. 8 seconds until these first birds spawn in. As we have Winter Wolf trying to get back here into the lane as quickly as possible. Already starting to rip on the big old Altaria here. Psyduck with a nice surf pushing them towards Demo, unfortunately. Winter Wolf did not hit 5 off of this, which means that engage is not going to happen. But Potpourri is also down on levels. Nozzle not quite level 5 yet. They will be off of this, and sure enough, they hit level 5, but Buzzwell's level 5 too. This is it. We picking off the Blissey there. We're popping the X speed. What are we running on that Blissey? There it is. There's the safeguard. 20 seconds until Regidrago here. No longer those Altarias and Swablues first. Brand new objective in this that grants team-wide experience as well as an increase, as a buff to the one who takes it that increases score speed. So that is going to be very crucial. Snorlax going in, but Trevenant going to be locking in that final hit. Now Regidrago is here. You have to watch where that little finger gunner is, and they are going to go take the Regidrago to the Miraidon. Miraidon, the one with the score increase, but also the one more likely to lose the points. As soon as it hits something, but Inteleon's level 7. At 737, we have level 7 Inteleon. That is huge and massive, but Solar's not far behind. They're locking in on this here, but that's not ended yet. Yoga is going to help take down the Buzzwell with Potpourri and Demo getting the credit for the KO. And we have Zacian already coming in and trying to exert a lot of pressure. Level 8 MG locking in, trying to find them. Not going to be enough as Blissey and Demo collapse. Potpourri backs out, says, thank you guys. Woof, woof, bark, bark. Give a dog a bone as we come down now to try to collapse with it. But Psyduck kidnaps the Yoga there. Blissey's going on a one-way trip back to the Pokemon Center thanks to MG. Now Potpourri is all alone. Demo has to back off. Let the doggo go down. Rip Fido taken out to the farm. Huge points coming now for MG. 1 HP in a dream. Has to Midnight Slash as the bicycle kick of doom comes through and was not able to pick up the KO. 1 HP in a dream on MG. Not going to be able to secure the KO, but is going to force the retreat. Regilecki now the 6th member of Adorable Wolves. Now we're trying to just stall long enough. Regilecki crashes in. Only a 18 points over, but look at this. JC holding the line. Hold the line. Hold the line. It's like a Mass Effect game. Commander Kirahi. Hold the line. Hold the line. Coming in here, but nice Buzzwell. Isn't gonna get the Snorlax there because the unstoppable from the block. But as now both teams gather around. Oh, wait. No, never mind. I thought that objective was still up. No, they already took it. I'm pretty sure that was a Reg steal. So Skeleton Pie gets that. I'm pretty sure it was him that secured it, most likely. He wasn't topside, so I assume so. Let's just pretend that's what happened. Don't even go back and look in the VOD. If you missed it and you didn't see it, don't go back and look in the VOD. It was Skeleton Pie secures the Regis steal. That's what happened. Boom. And we're not gonna question any further. But MG is gonna get taken down. One of the biggest levels on the map right now. Actually is the biggest level on the map. The biggest, baddest Absol on the map right now. Level 11, but 3 level 10s follow behind. Winterwolf needs to work on those levels. We gotta get them up. Level 10 is the threshold to meet, as we are now slowly closing the gap. Huge superpower on Snorlax, but that guy's just so bulky. Look at that massive shield from block. Look at all of that HP pool that he's got. He is a menace and a monster, and when he goes in, you got to be ready, because he's going to kidnap you with that block. That's exactly what he's looking for. When you fling behind, you're giving him another opportunity. Power Nap comes out, but it's not going to be enough. Skeleton Pie take it down in the midst of its Unite move. Phantom Force coming through here. How but the Torn Leech is going to miss. But the Meteor Storm from that Miraidon going to be a huge knock up on both Blissey and Cinderace. Huge 2 KO streak for Absol here as it takes down Blissey. Yoga stood no chance here as Demo doing everything a demon can, flinging fire and hellfire and all of that flying stuff. Not going to be able to be enough. We didn't do good enough math there. You could have scored, Solar. I'm going to judge you for that for the rest of your days. Judging that, you could have scored 15 points into 21. Could have got even more and over, but we're sitting at 183 to 39. Adorable Wolves has found their tempo. They found the swing. They're like, you take Snorlax and Blissey. Man, go for it. Snorlax, Blissey, that is A-okay and all for you. What I'm going to do instead, I'm going to take the Psyduck Trevenant. And chaos has thrived for Adorable Wolves as they have stood so far. Regieleki is back in the top lane, but Adorable Wolf doesn't feel pressure to take it yet. We're going to wait for Bush Check to come in, and Bush Check indeed. They did not do. Potpourri grabbed by the Buzzwole, kidnapped. Midnight Slash takes down the Demon Demo. Huge crits coming through. 1, 2, 3, 4 KO streak for MG as they take down one after the other. 50 points going in, another 33, but nice stop from Ravadas. Now they're overextended behind. Their team is back. Absol goes down. JC gonna pay for the sins of Trevenant. Huge late Unite move to try to survive, but it does go off. Huge, that debuff didn't last quite as long. As we now come through, nice KO from Winterwolf, but they're caught out for the reverse KO as well. Look at that. Skeleton Pie 13, Demo 13, Potpourri 13, into the 14 MG, the 12 Winterwolf, and the 13 on Miraidon. Winterwolf has got to try to get their levels up as well. Look at that, though. We are close to 13. That is not going to be a problem as long as we're able to find some sort of farm for them, which is going to be hard because look at this pad. Top tier 1 pad is still up. Bottom tier 1 pad is still up. That means all of this extra experience that Adorable Wolves typically could have isn't there because those pads are still there. But Bush Check has all of them. All of this experience is now pushing it because look at that. Level 15 Absol. MG, the demon, putting Demo in their place, being like, who's the demon now? But much like Adorable Wolves last game, we are going straight for the rip. We do not care. We're going for the Bliss Assist. We're going to take it with the Zacian Sovereign Sword coming in. But Skeleton Pie is going to give up their buff. They're saying, you know what? I didn't need it. They get taken down. Buzzwole's gone. Hawkra's in a very sticky situation. But, Winterwolf taken down by the dog. Oh, indeed. One Hundo Burger coming in for 82 points. That's going to leave this pad up. Oh, the Potpourri could still go in it. Why are we fighting that? Go, Potpourri. Go. Score, score, score. 37 for 74, 233 to 295. Buffs are still up, but MG has a buff. Get the points on them. Hold them in contempt. Hold them behind. Gather around. We have 2 Unite moves. We have the Phantom Force and the Ultra Swole Slam coming in here for the side of Adorable Wolves. We are able to do this 1 minute to make the magic happen. 40 points isn't going to be enough. You have to feed MG those points. You got to get them in. Here we go. Ultra Slow Slam coming in. Trevenant with the Phantom Force coming through. Already down 1 and 2. But we are here in mass, but MG is already pivoting to the other side of the map. But they're going to have to score a lot more points because whatever comes in here is going to be one of the clinchers. 305 to 295. Now 393. A hundo burger could cure this as well, but MG is the only one up. We are the only ones going. Again, this is for match point for Bushcheck. 593 to 305. We are going to see game end right here. Adorable Wolves does not have enough time to get the points and make it across the map to score. Well done, both teams. Oh my goodness. What a game, what a match, what a set going in. Whoo! Guys, these are the games that we live for. These are the games we vie for. And this is what Articuno League is all about. Because, oh my gosh, look at how these teams fought. Look at how they played. Valiant to the end, didn't give up a single game. And they played their hearts out. 90k on MG, 47 on Winter, 55 on Solar. Nice tanking from JC at 71. And Hakra, barely damage done, but barely damage taken. Didn't need to heal a whole lot because they were doing great jobs with the stuns. Skeleton Pie, 58. Demo with the 71. Potpourri with the 62. Ravada's coming in with the 53k tank. Bush Yoga, also 50k tank, but also very clutch with the Bliss assists, the safeguards, and the helping hands. They made the difference against Adorable Wolves. But oh my goodness, that neither team made this easy. And let's look at the score report. And again, we see that plateau. But we see it in reverse this time. Look, we had the lead. We had the advantage. We just got at Groudon. And then that's when all the points started raining in. That's when they started dunking down and coming out and being a problem. But look at all match. Look at the control that we were able to exert. But the levels, you gotta watch how you're giving up the KOs on those levels, guys. But that has been Articuno League Week 1, Week 2, Adorable Wolves versus Bushcheck. Bushcheck taking this match in a 3-1 victory here. And guys, give our teams a well done, because let me tell you, this was not an easy set. This was not an easy match. And if this is the type of gaming that you're interested, if these are the type of people that you want to play with, join that Discord link that's pinned at the top of the chat. Articuno League Discord server. This is where all the magic is happening. You can get pinged for streams before coming out to watch some of this great action. We have Thoob and Malinaki that are going to be able to come through and just watch all of that. So make sure you come through, say hi to Mal, say hi to Thoob, and get their Twitch information, because that's where you can catch other games this week. We will be back later on as well. You can also come in and play with players of all kinds of Articuno League. There's lots of action to be had, and there's even more events being talked about, such as in-houses among the teams that we can also spectate and cast and try to have more fun going on. They're not actually part of the Articuno League, no stakes scrims, just fun for the teams to be able to come in and say, hey, let's go face this team, or let's play this team. Get divided up and get some more experience. So that way you're not facing these teams for the first time coming into the playoffs. But this has been Articuno League. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys again real soon. Later.